Let's talk now specifically about how to actually transfer that knowledge from your heads and get it into the minds of the salespeople. We're going to look at 3 S's: synthesize, simplify, and make it sales friendly. Let's begin with synthesize. One of the biggest mistakes I see out there today is companies put too much information in front of the sales team. You've got to be really clear on what products they need and what products you want to actually train and emphasize. When I was running sales training at Gartner, we actually put in more effort keeping product leaders away from the sales team so as to not confuse them than we actually did letting them in. The danger is if you give the salespeople too much information, especially at once, they're going to be overwhelmed and their brains are going to short circuit. One of my favorite quotes comes from Alfred Hitchcock, and I think this is important to keep in mind as you are synthesizing that content. And he said, "Drama is life with the dull bits cut out." Number 2, simplify. 2 quotes. One came from James Michener. He said, "I'm not a great writer, I'm a great rewriter." What I see over and over, product leaders put rough drafts in front of the sales team. Maybe they dust off an old PowerPoint presentation. The night before, they might change a couple of slides, resequence. This is bad. A lot of times, those PowerPoints are designed for the wrong audience. They've been designed for an investment team, venture capitalists, maybe they're client-facing. The salespeople need content from a whole different angle. They need to know how to have a conversation with prospects. So you need to spend a lot of time simplifying. There was a study done in Helsinki in 2015. It took a look at the actual brain scans of 2 groups of people. They studied 1,000 engineers and 1,000 salespeople. They brought them into the lab individually, they wired them up, and they identified what the most common outlook on life is for each of those groups. For the engineers, it was E equals MC squared. Next, they took a look at the data from the 1,000 sales executives from all over the world. They found out that their outlook on life could be summarized in this formula: 3 equals MT squared, which stands for my tea time is 3 o'clock. Let's take a look at number 3, how to make our training sales friendly. We've got to begin with the baseline of when you've got a group of salespeople in front of you, whether it's in online training or a live audience, you've got to assume that they're bored and don't want to be there. So the first thing you've got to do is get their attention, okay? There are 2 books out emphasizing the importance of understanding why. The one's by Simon Sinek, Start With Why, and there's a book out that's been out here for a few years called The 5 Whys. There's a reason these are so popular. So when it comes to opening your training with salespeople, you've got to show them why this is so important. They're interested in how easy is it going to be to sell? Does the market really need this? How much am I going to make? Will I get to winner circle if I sell this product? Okay? That's where you've got to start. The next thing you want to do is map your training to the actual sales process. So you've got to understand what that is and have a sensitivity to it. So put yourselves in the shoes of a salesperson right now. What are they thinking? Well, you've gotten them excited. They've listened to Bob out in the West Coast who's got a great story to tell. They're fired up. So they're going to wonder, who am I going to call on? Right. So who are the best prospects? Spell those out to them. What are the criteria? Who are they going to be calling on? What are their needs? Why is this such a burning issue for those specific people? Then within the organization, who should we call on? Is it the VP of sales? Is it the head of quality? Who is it? You've got to identify not only the types of companies, but also the people within those organizations. You want to spell out business challenges. What's the pain these people feel? What's their emotional driver? How should they go about describing your product or service? Not in a detailed, boring way, but give me the movie pitch. Couple of sentences to help frame this. Then you want to provide a case study. Now, if it's a brand new offering, you're not going to have a case study, so it might be a hypothetical or maybe a summary of some research you've done to show why this is such a need in the marketplace. And then finally, you want to identify sales tools. What tools can they actually use on sales calls to help them communicate this offering to their prospects.